Hey everybody, Jack here, TalkNorwichCity back for another match preview. I hope you guys are all doing very well indeed. Norwich City take on Nottingham Forest this midweek after a fairly frantic win over Sheffield Wednesday in our last match. Once again leaving it late, but once again getting the job done. And I think if there's any parallels to pull from the 2018-19 season to this season, lots is very different, but I think the one thing that's remained in this Norwich City team is the ability to keep composure late on. And I don't think these late goals are luck. I don't think they're coincidence. I think it's simply a bit more quality. And I think we saw that through the through balls from Mario Vrancic, and certainly the second goal from Max Aarons at the weekend, the real bit of quality. You don't see them kind of runs, the movement and the ability to finish like Max Aarons did from a standard championship right back. So that was really pleasing, and I think we'll be seeing more of that this season. I think the fitness thing, you have to look at that as well. I think it's very well documented that this Daniel Farke side are very well drilled and worked incredibly hard in training. Stories of triple sessions, fairly common practice under Daniel Farke, and that does have its downfalls, as we'll get into shortly. But I don't think I don't think you can look over the fact that it does have benefits as well, and then benefits are winning games late on. So that's really pleasing. The downfall, though, is the injuries, and sadly we've got more injuries to talk about this week. Poeta and Ben Gibson will both be missing not only this game coming up against Nottingham Forest, but the next 2 weeks. I think Poeta, certainly with returning players, Todd Cantwell, Dowell, Kenny McLean, Jordan Hugill, Todd Cantwell, certainly you do have kind of replacements there. And you do have replacements with Ben Gibson as well, but that partnership between Ben Gibson and Grant Hanley can't be overlooked. I think it's been incredibly successful for Norwich City this season. Daniel Farke, one of the big things he wanted to improve on was that defensive line, and there's been injuries, and Jakob Sorensen in at left back has worked, but it's certainly not the ideal situation for Daniel Farke. But the centre-back pairings between Hanley and Gibson has brought such solidity and a real composure about the defensive line, and especially when you've got Tim Krul out, you need wise heads and experienced heads and players of real quality in them positions. And I think Gibson and Hanley are two of the better centre-backs in the division. I'm not going against Zimmerman here, because I like Zimmerman and we know what he's about, and I think it would be unfair to judge him based on substitute appearances this season, but I'm going to be unfair and judge him on them appearances, and we've looked shaky when he's come on, and I know that he's often been part of almost a back five when he's appeared, but we seem to concede goals when he's on the pitch. So it's good that we've got Zimmerman to go in there, and I'm sure from the off he'll be fine. But losing out on Ben Gibson is a real worry. Thankfully, it does sound as if some of the already injured players, and there's 14 of them at this point, which is remarkable in itself, the fact that we're still not only winning football matches, but top of the division. And I think it shows some of the weakness in this division this season, because I think if this would have happened in previous campaigns, teams would have taken advantage. We haven't seen any team take advantage of our slight dip in form of recent weeks, and there hasn't been too much of a dip, but Watford, Bournemouth, no team is perfect in this division this season. So we go up against the Nottingham Forest side tomorrow night, Wednesday at time of recording, who find themselves in some real bother, actually. I was watching back my pre-season championship prediction video earlier on today, and Forest are the team I've got most wrong. The majority of my predictions are fairly solid, and they've stood up okay. Forest I've got completely wrong. They find themselves in all kinds of bother. They've haven't won in their last 5 matches. Currently managed, of course, by Chris Hughton. And they had a slight upturn in form. They beat Coventry and they beat Wickham when Hughton came in. But it's back to same old. They lost against Reading and maybe scratched through that result because they spent 75 minutes with 10 men. They had a 0-0 draw against Watford. They lost to Swansea, they lost to Bournemouth, they lost to Barnsley. So some good teams in there, but just not scoring goals. They haven't scored a goal in their last 5 matches, which is an incredibly worrying statistic for them. Maybe not surprising with the manager that they've got, but you would have thought, the lack of scoring goals would have been hand in hand with defensive solidity, and they simply haven't found that. They're 21st in the division, just 2 points above a Wycombe side, and then below them a Sheffield Wednesday, who of course have a points deduction to contend with. So real bother for Nottingham Forest. I think out of all of the sides down the bottom there, and you've got Sheffield Wednesday, who we've played, Derby, who we lost to, Wycombe, who we scraped past, Rotherham and Coventry, it's not going to be easy. And I was going to say that I think that Forest are the one team in that bottom kind of 6 teams who I think will probably put a run together and break out. But all of them teams are capable. I was impressed with Coventry. I was impressed with Rotherham. Wycombe were better than I thought. Derby, I couldn't believe we didn't beat them, and I think have problems, but have talent in that squad. And Sheffield Wednesday, I was impressed with as well. So we'll see what this Nottingham Forest side are about. In previous seasons, their main attribute has been like Lewis Grabban, and I thought Lewis Grabban and Lyle Taylor, I thought they had a really good championship strike partnership. They're not scoring goals, and I don't think Chris Hughton will help with that. So expect it to be Norwich City battling against the low block, and thankfully, we've got past that for the majority this season. It's not going to be free-flowing, it's not going to be high scoring, but I fully expect Norwich City to once again get the job done here. If you would have said to me Coventry, Sheffield Wednesday and Nottingham Forest that you could take a possible 7 points from, I would have snapped your hand off at that, and a win here would get the total to 7 points in the last 3 games. I think it's going to be one of the more challenging games of the last few. Thankfully, we've got some players coming back. There's also the injuries to contend with. So it's going to be a fascinating encounter. As I keep on saying, Norwich City just have to get through these next kind of 2 or 3 weeks. Having Pukki back is a massive plus, and I thought we looked so much better with him leading the line. Of course we would. He's a striker. Any striker is better than no striker. Teemu Pukki especially. I think from now until getting Tim Krul back, which will probably be another week or so, it's simply a case of just getting through them. And by hook or by crook, champions find ways to do it. And we did it on Saturday, and hopefully we'll do it again on Wednesday night against Nottingham Forest. Once again, as always, we will be back on the YouTube channel live from, what time's kickoff? From 7:30 on the YouTube channel. So come and join us for the watch along. I know some of you will be at Carrow Road, which will be brilliant. I'm sure a fantastic occasion. But for those of you who didn't manage to get tickets or didn't feel comfortable with getting tickets, then tune in to Talk Norwich City. Hit subscribe and you won't miss out. I'm really looking forward to this one. I love midweek championship games. I think especially at this point in the year when the days are short and it's dark by 4 o'clock, having something to look forward to in the evening is really important. So looking forward to this one, and confident actually that Norwich City will get the job done. I've been Jack Reeve. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for Norwich City against Nottingham Forest. Leave your score predictions down in the comment section below. Bye-bye.